Afternoon, welcome to Nosey Road from Helens, the pre-season friendly charity match in inverted commas, and the Saints being led out this afternoon. Match day mascot Sean Brown, young Sean there, 10 years of age. He attends Par Flat Junior School. His dad Steve works in promotions. His mother Sue is also a big Saints specky. His hobbies are football and snooker, Sega Mega Drive, and also watching the Saints play and train. Big day out for him there in front, with his favourites, and in front of quite a sizable crowd. So young Sean Brown there, just waiting for the witness side to come out for this afternoon. Mustn't just be ready yet, but young Sean there, his favourite player is Sonny Nicol. The Saints side for this afternoon at full-back Phil Vevers, Alan Hunt, Simon Booth, Paul Loughlin and Jason Roach make up the three-quarter line with Tommy Martin and Phil Waring. Phil Waring very impressive in the tour down under, the Academy tour. Kept Holroyd out of the third test, and Eric Hughes has put him in at scrum half this afternoon. Dannett, Hodgkinson and Fogarty make the front row with Chris Jointy and Picker Vance and Shane Cooper. Joining me this afternoon for the commentary is Gary McGrath from Widnes, and I'll leave it to Gary to introduce the Widnes side.
Thanks, Lonnie. It's good to be back again after another somewhat turbulent close season. Widnes with a few changes and a couple of those players on view today. And we'll just go through the Widnes team. Full-back Stuart Spruce, making his debut at number 2 is Jason Green, ex-Rochdale. Carl Hammond and Tony Thornley in the centres. Peter Smith on the right wing. And our halfbacks, David Luane at standoff and David Hume at number 7. And the Widnes pack is Andy Ireland, Paul Hume, Craig Makin, Dave Smith and Lee Hansen, signed from Lee in the close season. And Paul Harris gets a run out at number 13. Substitutes for Widnes, 5 this afternoon: Adrian Hadley, Paul Myler, Lee Ashton, Aidan Halliwell and Steve McCurry. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day here at Knowsley Road, St Helens, and I'm sure, Ronnie, we've got a great game in prospect.
Yes, I would imagine so, Gary. Obviously, when with all the goings from Widnes, you expected to see people on the team sheet that weren't household names, but there's a lot of talent here that have been coming in, introduced to Widnes throughout the last season or so, and there's not many that we don't know. But Saints lining up there: John Connolly, the referee from Wigan. Saints subs are Scott Gibbs, John Neal, Andy Haig and Chris Morley. And there's the matchday mascot there, just hurrying away down to the tunnel, young Sean Brown. So ready for the action. Saints to kick off. Billed as the charity match, Gary, the pre-season friendly, but there won't be much charity today, will there, my friend?
Well, I shouldn't think so. Between the players down there, every single player out there has got a point to prove. Both teams with a few newcomers in the side, and of course you're playing for your position. And the atmosphere in the Widnes camp, very relaxed. I attended the photo session when both the first team and the A team got together to have the official photograph taken, and there was lots of laughing and joking. Tony Myler, the coach, looked very relaxed, very confident, and really this is a season, a step into the unknown for Widnes this season. Anything can happen. People have been talking about relegation. Well, I once again would tip them for the top 8 spots. I did that last year and they just about failed, but I think the spirit will carry the Chemics through as Widnes take the ball away in the new all-black strip, which is the first choice strip for this season. The home kit, sponsored by Match Winner. And Dave Luane gets the ball out from the standoff position, and Jason Green gets his first touch of the ball and makes good ground there. That's a good first touch by the Widnes winger. The final tackle, Hume puts a kick in for touch, but it just fails to find touch, and it's ball back, and it'll be a turnover.
Yes, both sides resplendent in new kits, Gary. Saints impressive new kit. That's sponsored by Stag. And a lot of the spectators around the arena this afternoon have ploughed the money in and bought the new kit. Andy Dannett now in possession. So both these coaches, Tony Myler and Eric Hughes, both first teamers at Widnes in the standoff berth, and Chris Joynt in possession. And Saints must be boosted by the fact that Chris Joynt has signed an extension to his two-year extension to his existing one-year contract. Saints wanting a quick play of the ball, they move it over to the right. Cooper again, looking for support. There's Waring, he has possession. Took it well, Waring and Tommy Hodgkinson putting pressure on the Widnes line. 10 metres from the line, Waring will play it. Saints bring it crossfield, Martin chips it through on the opposite diagonal, looking for Chris Joynt, and Widnes back in possession.
That was a dangerous looking attack there by St Helens. Phil Worthing, as the St Helens fans will know, is an excellent prospect for the Saints, but Widnes defend the line well and take the ball away past the 20-metre line. That's Craig Macon in possession, and now in comes Andy Ireland looking to offload the ball. He had David Smith on his shoulder. Widnes get caught in possession at the half-back though. Now Thornley, his first chance, in fact that was Carl Hammond, takes the ball away for Widnes, and the ball back. David Hume obviously given the task of kicking this afternoon. The ball sits up nicely for Jason Roach, and the Widnes players not giving the St Helens winger 10 metres and penalised for offside. Ronnie, this young winger seems to be a lad with bags of confidence as well.
Yes, plenty of talent coming through in the Saints ranks, Gary, and Eric Hughes will give these lads a chance. Most of the A-team now formed up from a lot of the academy lads. A good positional kicking for the Saints, just short of the 20-metre line. Tommy Hodgkinson to restart. Adam Fogarty, first man in. Fogarty out, injured last season, a leg problem. Sonny Nicol out today, Bobby Goulding out. Bernard Dwyer, he's shoulder problems, looking to get back in action in a couple of months, and it's Bernard Dwyer's testimonial season, and I'm sure all the lads and all the spectators will get behind him. Chris Joynt, good running on the 20-metre line, solid tackling to say the least. Number 11 there, David Smith, is it number 11, Gary? Going in rather enthusiastically, we might say, but the referee was right on the job, and the ball spilled and a scrum down with a Widnes feed.
Yes, I think that's a good decision. I know you obviously think I'm biased again, Ronnie, but the St Helens claiming that David Smith was a bit too vigorous, but he just flopped on the player and the ball was lost. So Widnes got the scrum and the feed. Now there's Lee Hansen, he's a big lad, and he could work wonders for Widnes in that number 12 shirt. The ball slipped out, a dangerous pass, but the Widnes player, I think Jason Green it was, well, in centre field, did well to drop on that. Now Hume caught by himself, but he's still good play by David Hume. Slipped the ball out, but just left David away with no support. Carl Hammond can't do anything this time, looks to create a gap for himself, but there was nothing on there. And again we come to the final tackle. Hume kicks this time. It's a better kick, but again it sits up nicely for the St Helens winger. Tackled by Hume, who followed up well.
Yes, Jason Roach takes it well. Speed merchant Roach. A couple of appearances towards the back end of last season. Looking towards obviously making a permanent position for himself in the starting lineup. Anthony Sullivan out injured, the usual number 5. So definitely a competition for places, and still let's hope more signings to come at Knowsley Road. Phil Waring, jinking, prodding and probing, looking for that gap. Tommy Hodgkinson stepping into the breach, signed a new contract. On to Shane Cooper. Chris Joynt has to take the tackle. Well, he gets the ball away to Tommy Martin. Martin sees the gap, drives up the centre. He gets the ball away to Shane Cooper. Cooper gives the dummy, sets Simon Booth off on a run. Big rangy lad, this Booth. He's tackled there under a little bit of pressure. It's the last tackle of the sequence. Martin chips it up well. Oh, lovely rugby, Martin. He takes it. It's going to be the turnover. Super rugby from Martin, very elusive character. Widnes now have possession, but Saints are putting them under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a great piece of individual thinking there by Tommy Martin. The ball bounced awkwardly away from David Hume, but super reactions from Stuart Spruce to make the tackle there, because Martin was just about to jink in and put the first points on the board, but Stuart Spruce reacted superbly and made the tackle. But Widnes, well, they just can't bulldoze the way out of this 20-metre line. And St Helens penalised, offside at the play of the ball. I think it was the number 8, Andy Dannett, that the penalty was against, and it gives Widnes a chance to organise and hopefully get into the St Helens half for the first time. And Jason Green comes in for his second attempt, and he knocks off the good piece of play again by Green. Well, doesn't he look like a strong lad? He's only little in height, but he's certainly got plenty of bulk out there and obviously plenty of power, and he looks like a very promising lad. In his first 2 breaks that he's made there, he's managed to knock off the tackles. Craig Makin, David Smith, I should say, that is wearing the unfamiliar number 11 jersey this afternoon. Now Carl Hammond jinks away from the first one, flicks the ball out well. Stuart Spruce in support. He's got David Hume with him, but he hangs on to the ball. But Widnes looking good now, the first real chance to attack. Hume making, was it a forward pass? Well, the referee doesn't think so. David Owain doesn't think so. He gets the ball out to Spruce, and a great cover tackle, and Spruce has dropped the ball inches from the line, but promising stuff by Widnes. The first chance to attack, and a couple of good moves, a couple of good darts put in there by the backs, and some good handling movements as well. But St Helens survive. 8 minutes gone, still no score.
Well, they gave a knock on there in the first place for bring the scrum, Gary. And as you said, Gary, well, at least you picked one up. 2 forward passes, unbelievably forward passes that referee Connolly let him go. But Widnes were penalised at the scrum for the infringement. Saints make good yardage, and now it's with Dannett driving it upfield, but some solid tackling from the Widnes forwards and backs, and obviously they've got to buckle down to it. Oh, a little bit high, even though it looks as though it come off the back of the jersey. Didn't look anything malicious. Well, it did at first, but it wasn't as it unfurled. Chris Joynt makes good yardage. It was Andy Ireland that was involved there, and he's involved there in the tackle of Chris Joynt. A big lad, Ireland. He's got to try and make his mark. Here's Ian Pickavance, unloads the ball to Cooper. The ball knocked back, it's touched a Widnes hand, but the referee has not waved. Yes, he has now. Phil Weaver's inside to Loughlin. Super ball to Loughlin. Saints with another 5 tackles, hopefully to get points on the board. Whirring on to Dannett, unloads to Cooper. Oh, super ball to Booth, but the Widnes player read that well and came in and stopped Booth man and ball. Widnes pick up the loose ball, and they're now back in possession.
Yes, I think it was Carl Hammond that made that tackle. It was a great tackle. As you say, he read the situation perfectly, and he was on the man almost before the ball got to him, causing the St Helens player to spill the ball. So good defence by both sides, and the makings of a great match. Now David Hume, well, David Wayne was slipped off the ball. Thornley, he's got Green in support. He can't get the ball out. Well, a great cover tackle. Oh, Jason Green was screaming up behind Thornley in support. Now he fancies his chances himself. The ex-Wellington player just didn't have the legs, but it was that break by David Hume that caused the problems for St Helens, and Jason Green penalised for not playing the ball properly in his eagerness. Well, a great break, and if only Thornley could have gotten that ball out. Widnes, I think, against the odds, would have taken an early lead in this game, but so far, Donny, this match is living up to its potential.
But it is, Gary, super break. Paul Hume gave the dummy good yardage down there. The ball inside to Tony Thornley, but what a tackle, Jason Roach. He honed in on his man, and then Green got the ball, and Simon Booth came across, bounced him down, and as you said, Green in his eagerness infringed the rules and was penalised. But Saints with the ball in the hands, just short of the halfway line, looking for the first point to this match. 11 minutes have gone. Hodgkinson inside to Joint. Good handling there, Martin. Beavers linking up onto Fogarty. Good teamwork by the Saints. They got back well there when they was under pressure, and now they're together in the attack. Joint, oh, super run from Joint. Looking for support. Martin was on his right. Good tackle there by Hansen. Over to Waring. Waring chips it for the corner. Alan Hunt's chasing it. Oh, super take by Spruce. Took it well under a lot of pressure there, Gary.
Yes, he did. Stuart Spruce for mine, he's still one of the best full-backs you'll see in the game of rugby league in Great Britain. Had a bit of a bad patch at one spell last season, but I'm sure he'll be back to his best this season. And he is a classy player. He read that situation perfectly and he got down well. But Widnes there just for the second, looking a little bit at sixes and sevens. In comes the big forward, Craig Makin, willing to run the ball out. He got Smith in support, and well, would you believe that two prop forwards in the second row involved in that three passing movement. Nobody else seemed to be in support. David Owain steps down his man, kicks it deep. Widnes obviously keen just to get St Helens back into that half of the field, but a kick's only as good as the chase, and we need to see now, can Widnes complete the tackle on Vivers? They don't make it first time.
Yes, Phil Vivers, the evergreen Phil Vivers, his 11th season here at Nosey Road, looking to a testimonial season next season. Hopefully, if everything goes all right. Bernard Dwyer has his this season. And now it's the Saints on the attack again. Cooper hoping to get things underway, and once we get Cooper and Bobby Goulding, the ex-Widnes scrum half, linking together, we're looking for big things here with the Saints. So intercepted as Hodgkinson tried to get it underway. The loose forward there, I think it is Gary Paul Harris, took it well, and Widnes back in possession.
Yes, he did take it well. He read the situation well there, and Dave Smith gets a good ball out to Stuart Spruce. I think Smith took a knock on the leg there as he went down, but he managed to get the ball out well. Now Makin to straighten up the play and drive it forward, and now Widnes will look to move the ball out to the backs. David Hume, he's got Llewellyn outside him, the run around, inside ball to Hansen. Hansen running well in the centres. That's where Widnes would like to use him this afternoon. He's a big lad. He had a good game for Lee when they played against Widnes, which I think probably influenced the decision to buy him. I think from that moment on, the Widnes coaches probably had their eyes on Lee Hansen, and again the kick through, but it's a little bit tame this time, and it's not really a difficult one for Phil Vivers to field.
Yes, this Hansen, obviously he looks quite useful, a squat type of forward, but linked with St Helens as well, Gary. But Lee, in financial difficulty, wanted the administrators wanted a cash payment as Fogarty burst through, big prop forward, turns it in field. Hodgkinson was in support, but he should have kept hold of that there. It wasn't really on, and Widnes back in possession.
Well, I think perhaps you're seeing one of the reasons why we have these pre-season games. As you say, there was no way that pass was on as Andy Ireland makes good ground, dummies, and again, well, another risky pass. And I'm sure the coaches won't be happy with these passing.
But Cooper retrieved the situation onto Loughlin. Good tackle there by the Widnes wingman Peter Smith. Jason Roach wants a quick play of the ball, but the ball's been knocked forward.
Yes, what I was about to say before, I'm sure that both coaches wouldn't be happy with those two dodgy passes, which, especially the St Helens one, the support was nowhere near close enough, and perhaps the players just blowing the cobwebs off there and reminding themselves of what to do and what not to do. David Hume, good ball out to Smith. Smith supporting well this afternoon. David Hume looks at the touch judge, I think, claiming that the tackle was a bit high on Smith. Craig Makin powers forward, and Mr Connolly gives the penalty. Not sure what that's for, while attempting to pinch the ball. If that's the case, it was a silly movement. Don't know if it was Pickavance that was involved there, but Mr Connolly was immediately in front of the situation.
Outside front row there.
Well, Ronnie's just saying that the three St Helens front row players involved in the tackle, one of them committed an illegal action. Jason Green again in on the action. Widnes obviously just using him on this occasion to set up the next play, which comes off David Hume. Harris, good inside ball, Andy Ireland, but he can't get the ball out there. It was just caught around his midriff, tackled well. Hume, the Wayne, a run around, but too flat. The St Helens line had come in, and I think that was always going to be a forward pass. The St Helens line up there very quickly. Widnes a little bit too flat, and that was never going to come off.
But the idea was right, Gary, and these Hume brothers, you know, they're running the show, they're experienced, they've been at Widnes a lot of years. On paper, you would have thought today that Saints were going to give these lads a good hiding, but it's a different matter when you get down on the pitch. And they've always had good character, Widnes, haven't they? They've always got the players they've come through, they've got loads of brothers, they must have the most brothers. Oh, well, the ball's back to Vivers. Is a knock-on going to be ruled? I think Phil Vivers actually knocked it forward. But Thornley, was it? That was in for the interception there. Well, they'll come through, Widnes. They've always had a lot of brothers, haven't they? They've had young talent that's come through, even though they've not been well supported. And they were the team in the middle 70s to the middle 80s, but they've really gone down, haven't they? He's given the scrum feed to the Saints. He's judged that Widnes had knocked it forward. Must have been they knocked it forward first before Phil Vivers did, but it's on to Simon Booth. Out to Alan Hunt. He couldn't take it cleanly. Good tackling on the far side, and Saints put the ball into touch. It's going to be a scrum down midway between the Saints 20-metre line and the halfway line with a Widnes feed this time, Gary.
Yes, good sliding defence there by Widnes. Carl Hammond and Peter Smith had the situation in hand, knew exactly what was going on, and both making good tackles. Incidentally, I must give Carl Hammond's grandparents, Derek and Betty, a mention. They celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary yesterday, and I did say that I would give them a mention and say that I hope Derek's back gets better as Widnes come away. Well, David Hume threw the ball away, and then needless interference there with a St Helens player. That ball was certainly going to be picked up by a Widnes player. Needless interference, and it just gives a penalty back to the Saints.
Yeah, Carl Hammond it was there, and he poleaxed young Waring. He went down as he was going through. No danger, I don't think, as you said, Gary. Widnes were going to get the ball, but obviously the referees assessed the situation. Maybe it looked worse than it actually was, and Saints have got the penalty. And Phil Vivers making good yardage. Tommy Hodgkinson will restart. Waring now, fully fit. Cooper along the line. Martin slips a lovely ball onto Pickermans. Oh, lovely sidestep. Pickermans again. Oh, the ball's still loose. Widnes have it. Well, Saints should have had points there. Good run by Pickermans. Good cover defence by Widnes, Gary.
Well, it was a superb sidestep. He made it look like David Hume had lead in his boots, but once again, I've got to say there, Stuart Spruce showing his class. He just stood up, he made the attacking player make the decision, and then he followed him. Excellent full-back play. That's copybook stuff, and he definitely saved the day for Widnes there, did Stuart Spruce. But a dangerous break by the St Helens. Well, the crowd shout forward, and I must admit, a couple of these Widnes passes from the play, the ball looking a bit straight, if not forward, and I think it's just the timing of the runs by the forwards. Not quite got it off pat yet. And the kick again, Widnes aiming to keep the Saints down in this half, and the follow-up again is a good one.
Yes, as you say, the kick's only as good as the follow-up, and Widnes stopping onside this time as Jason Roach retrieved the possession. Tommy Hodgkinson, well, the ball's still loose. Certainly that pass looked a bit suspect in the first place, and referee has now ruled on it. Widnes making a couple of substitutions, Gary.
Yes, the players to come off will be Paul Hume and Craig Makin, and the two Widnes substitutes both wearing number 15, which could be somewhat confusing for the spectators and the referee, not to mention the commentators. It's Paul Myler and Steve McCurry. I think I'm not sure, Donny, if it's unlimited substitutions this afternoon. I know there was some discussion between the clubs and they agreed to use 5, but I'm not sure how many times they can come on and off, but no doubt we'll pick that up during the course of the match because it is quite a hot day out there. It's the cloud cover's dissipated somewhat, and it's become a lot hotter this afternoon, so the players will feel it. First game back. And Paul Myler there with his first touch of the ball sign from Waddington. Oh, not a good pass there by Steve McCurry on his first touch of the ball. Gave Hanson no chance, and possession back to St Helens.
Yes, Fogarty read that well. He picked it up well. Not bad movement for a big man, as we saw earlier on with a good run. But Cooper again sets the side underway. Cooper's there again. Loughlin infield. Loughlin sees the gap. He drives for it. A host of Widnes tacklers. And the scrum after going in with the knees. David Hume on Paul Loughlin. Andy Dannett now making the yardage. A swarm of Widnes tacklers. Hanson and McCurry quickly in, and McCurry's not happy at Widnes, along with Devereux, and there's a mass exodus, or there has been a mass exodus of players from Widnes. Must be due to the contract system, but Saints chip it forward, and fine touch on the far side. A scrum down will be formed on the 10-metre line, 10 metres in from the main stand side and 10 metres from the line. Widnes with Hume to feed, David Hume. No score at present, 23 minutes we've gone on the clock, but it's certainly an exciting game, chances for both sides, but nothing on the board, Gary.
No, still, well, I think you would have expected one side to have scored by now, but the defence as well as the attack has been excellent this afternoon, and we've seen a good hard game so far. Andy Ireland was coming for that one, but was missed out. Well, Paul Myler, it wasn't quite a spear tackle, but I suppose it was nearly a spear tackle, and perhaps Mr. Conley there is just making a point. I think actually, Lonnie, Steve McCurry settled his differences now at Widnes, by the way, and otherwise he wouldn't have been playing today, and I'm sure that Steve has pledged his future to Widnes, and you'll see 110% off him, because nobody wants to play 18 football, and I'm sure that Steve will be out there to make a point this afternoon as Jason Green takes the ball in. Somebody's just said to me that he was a Ryan Giggs looking like Steve McCurry. Well,
he wishes he ran his money.
I think they've got the same hairstyle, that's about it. As David Hume takes the ball up and again manages to get the ball out, and once again it's Lee Hanson in support, close to touch, but manages to fling himself infield. Peter Smith didn't get too many chances with the ball last season. He's a fast, nippy little player and a strong lad as well, and he's as keen as mustard, and I'm sure that if he can just get a few chances when he's got a little bit of space to move in, we'll see what he can do. And that's a great break by Smith. Now Smith, intelligent kick. Stuart's Bruce, well, he couldn't dive there, he would have hit the horn in anyway. It was, well, for a forward it was an intelligent kick. I'm not sure if David Smith could have gone himself there, don't he?
Well, maybe so. He was motoring well, wasn't he? But he wasn't thought he could give the little chip kick through, and Spruce was just too deep for him. But Saints back with the possession, looking to introduce John Neal. He's had a couple of operations on a troublesome groin, looking to get back in there. Not too long ago, big John Neal had his knee smashed, did well to come back, the season out. The referee moving in quickly. The ball was knocked forward, scrum down with a Widnes feed. Well, he picked that up, Gary. I didn't notice that, but eagle-eyed Mr. Connolly, our friend from Wigan.
Yes, I must admit I didn't see it myself, although I was enthralled in your commentary. Who was listening to Ronnie there telling us the situation. Well, a risky pass, but it's taken well by Carl Hammond, and a Widnes player injured down there, holding his leg. Peter Smith looks to go away from the play of the ball. Thornley was the player, and he's still limping badly for Widnes. Andy Ireland, well, he took his eye off that ball, and Jason Rhodes thought he was away then, but Ireland just grabbed him by the collar.
Yes, he had a different idea there. He recovered well, Andy Ireland, didn't he? He spilled it. Jason Roach got it, thought he was away for slates, and was grabbed by the jersey and wrestled to the floor. So Fogarty off, John Neal on. As you said before, Gary, I don't know whether we are unlimited substitutions, only time will tell, as Tommy Hodgkinson makes a burst. Tommy Martin tried to slip it out, but it went the wrong way, back in Widnes' hands. Still an exciting game, and nearly 27 minutes on the clock and no score.
Yes, I'm quite amazed by the fact that there's been no score. It's been an excellent game, especially considering that it is the first game back, and Obviously these players will be hoping to work their way up towards match fitness in this game. Jason Green, and again he breaks through. Well, he's got Steve McCurry in support, will you believe it? And that says a lot about the hooker's attitude there. The only Widnes player within 10 metres of the winger, but Jason Green, he's made 3 excellent breaks now, and he looks a very good prospect. But Widnes just getting a little bit overexcited there. Peter Smith does well to get down on the ball. It surely is Widnes possession, and the St Helens player that just attempting to put a little bit of sand in Mr Connolly's eyes there with that. But well, Widnes just looked a bit disorganised there, making, crossing. David Smith, it was in possession. Thornley went across, but again I think this is one of the objects of this game. We shouldn't be too downhearted at things like that. These players have not played together in a match before, and that's what this is all about.
Yes, he looks a good prospect, this Green, Gary, doesn't he? He's nippy, as you said, not the biggest of fellas. Like Desi Drummond, I mean, he was superb, wasn't he? And he's still going, Drummond, been about for years. But John Neal now, first touch, into the fray. Both sides just weighing each other up. Andy Dannett, away to Hodgkinson, looking for support, takes it on his own, drives it through, 8 metres from the line, looking for the first score. Phil Waring attacked in half-back. Widnes down to 12 players, one being treated as Waring. Gives the drum, he tries to create the gap, scampered through, but good cover defence by Widnes. Hodgkinson at dummy half, looking for the runners. Tommy Martin there, brings in Chris Joint. Can he touch down? Oh, he's inches short, is Chris Joint. Cooper lining his men out. Hodgkinson attacked in half. It's over to Cooper. It's out to Pickervance. Pickervance sidesteps, looks for support. Good tackling again, super tackling by Widnes. Last one of the sequence, Hodgkinson chips it, it's loose, it's come back again. Is it another set of 6? The try's there. Pickervance goes over for the opening score. 28 minutes of the game. Ian Pickervance goes over for the first score of the afternoon. Widnes will be disappointed. They might think a slight bit of fortune there.
I think Widnes thoroughly deserve to hold St Helens out there, because they're actually playing with a man down, because the tackle on Jonathan Neal earlier on this 10-metre line on this side, David Owain took a knock in the face and was down, and Widnes did superbly well, I think, to hold on. And Owain's actually off the pitch at the moment, receiving treatment. The cover tackling was good, they were defending the line well. Stuart Spruce again saved a certain try by being in the right place at the right time. And well, the old story, a touch of good fortune, and St Helens got the ball back and powered over. And David Owain is making his way into the dressing rooms, perhaps got a cut that can be stitched, I'm not sure, but he's certainly going into the dressing rooms as the kick comes in.
Yeah, Tommy Martin couldn't convert it. As you said, Gary, I mean, we did pick up that Widnes were one player down, but it's up to the Saints. They've got to notice these things, and they've got to try and capitalise on that one-man advantage. And another ex-Widnesian in the Saints camp there, Gary, Alan Prescott, the ex-Widnes flyer, now the fitness conditioner here at Nosey Road. Played at Wembley in 1976, I think, against the Saints, Alan Prescott. Local lad. But with Saints have possession, Alan Hunt, lovely ball to Joint. Hunt loops round, but Joint goes up the middle. He's well taken there. Widnes move in. John Neal, lovely ball to Dannett. Back to Neal. Well, look at this class, interpassing between the forwards. Ian Pickervance now. Cooper. Joint, back to Pickervance. Champagne rugby here at Nosey Road. Excellent stuff. The ball played, and Cooper onto Dannett. Into the Widnes half. Good tackling by Widnes, but Saints making good yardage. Hodgkinson sees the gap, drives for it. Cooper was with him. Shane Cooper, Saint leader. Last tackle of the sequence. Little bit of mauling at the tackle. Cooper chips it through. Waring follows it up, and Widnes have the possession and a good break.
Yes, quick thinking by McCurry to get the ball out there to Harris. And Widnes survived well. Well, I don't know what that penalty's for. It's gone against. Well, as he gave a scrum. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, and he's not made any signal as to why he's done what he's done. But St Helens to get the ball back, and they look at to move it out along the line. They run it down with Lachlan. Tommy Martin gets the ball out to Jason Roach now. Well, he's just caught by the ankles.
Yes, Roach there. Cooper attacked in half-back. Joint running out wide, where he does a lot of damage. Has to take the tackle of Jason Green. Very elusive character, Green. Well in at the tackle there. Martin and Cooper with the loop movement. On to Pickavance. Informed player here at St Helens last season. Came from Swinton. Played down the wing and in the centre, but a lot of his hard work, well, it's always hard work out there on the pitch, isn't it? But done in the second row. He's also propped. Mr. Utility, we could say. As Martin chips it for the corner. Roach is chasing it. Yes! That's a try! He touched it down. There's no danger about that. Super kick by Martin. Precision kicking for the corner. And speed merchant Roach took that with both hands, with just inches to spare. Talking to him before, Jason Roach, he told me he was going to get a hat-trick this afternoon. Well, there's one of them, isn't it? At present, he has played on the wing. He's a young lad that's come through the ranks here at St Helens. Had a couple of appearances the back end of last season. One noticeably at Bradford, where he had about 3 days camel ride away from the pitch. And he scored an excellent try, even though I didn't know it was Chris at the time he scored it. But four super stuff by the Saints, good into passing. Beavers linking up in the line. Now with Chris Joint, gives the shimmy. The tackle's good this time by the Widnes substitute. There's Tommy Hodgkinson up the blind side, looking for Roach again, but a good tackle again. We don't know who this Widnes substitute is, numberless. But he did well on. Spruce took it well there, Gary, on the run. Excellent take there.
Yes, superb, class full back play there. It's all the confidence in the world. He didn't even break his stride. Super timing, and went, as usual, more often than not, down the first man. Peter Smith caught in possession, just couldn't scamper away there. Lee Hansen doing a good job to push the ball forward, moving Widnes towards the halfway line as we come into the final 5 minutes of this half. McCurry is looking for support, dummies once, good ball out to Connolly, and he comes down the back, can't pick the ball up though. Now Jason Roach, is this going to be his second? No, he gets the ball out, good support. Roach again in possession though, he's just got to go down Stuart Spruce, but Spruce uses all his experience there.
Yes, Morley there, linked up well with Jason Roach. John Neal has the ball, back inside to Chris Joint. Cooper along the line. Saints have only got to spread it. They're going to catch Widnes off guard. Tommy Martin, long ball to Alan Hunt. Can he go in at the corner? He can. Super stuff. And Alan Hunt comes flying behind the line. Super try from Hunt. Excellent play from the Saints. From one side to the other. Have the floodgates started to open now. 28 minutes without a score. And in the 8 minutes after the first score by Pickavance, that's the Saints' third try. Good work by Morley and Roach. Good into passing on this left wing. Then the ball taken right across the field. A long pass. The ball had to be moved quickly to catch Widnes unaware. A super long ball, well taken by Hunt, and he glided in at the corner. Another difficult attempt for Tommy Martin. Just in from the touchline there and just outside the 20-metre line. Super stuff there, Gary, by the Saints. Spread the ball well. Was it the last game of the season, or nearly the last game of the season against Widnes, obviously last season, and Widnes had an excellent win against the Saints. Hefty lead at one stage, you could say, but good interpassing, and Saints there doing the business. Catching Widnes unaware, and a super kick by Tommy Martin. That's one out of the top draw. There's no danger. Took it well, but Widnes hit by a blitz, Gary, in 8 minutes. what, 12, 14 points now. Can you come back?
Well, it'll certainly be a test of character and a test of fitness as much as anything else. But, you know, you just can't handle St Helens when they play like that, and it's not something that will surprise anybody to see the Saints throwing the ball about like that from one side of the pitch to the other. And I think Tommy Martin's gone down there with a groin problem. Ronnie, I just noticed him point to the bench.
Yes, a good variation of play by Widnes. Tried the short kick-off. Martin read it well, he came in, and he's obviously a slight strain. Jeanette Smith, they've gone out to treat him. But Martin, instrumental in making the Saints tick at the back end of last season, given the standoff berth. But possession is lost, and one of the Humes comes up with it, and Widnes now back on the attack.
Hammond just looking to break through there. He thought about the pass, but he decided to keep it safe. There's only 1 minute left in this game, and it would do the Widnes confidence the world of good to get points on the board. It wasn't a knock-on. Steve McCuddy fumbled it backwards. It wasn't the best of play the balls there. David Hume, no options there. He just the St Helens cover was good, and Hume ran out of options. A quick play the ball. Steve McCuddy wasn't there at half back. I think that's Aidan Halliwell. It's difficult to tell in the new kit. You can't familiarise yourselves with the players. Andy Ireland dummies the short ball. Smith powered through without the ball, and it's the final tackle for Widnes. Now what will they do here? McCuddy, he goes to the line himself, and can he score? Yes, he's claiming it. Oh, well, it's been given as a knock-on. Well, it was sheer determination. It would have been great for McCuddy if he could have scored there. But the referee and the touch judge judge that the ball was knocked forward. That would have been just what Widnes needed. A bit of a confidence booster as we go in at half-time. McCuddy determined to power over the line. I think he's having a word there with the touch judge as he goes off. He claimed it, his hand went straight up, but that sometimes means that you've knocked on, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does. It would have given Widnes a boost, but good tackling by the Saints, good play by McCurry. He's a class player, this McCurry, Gary, as you say. I'm glad he's settled his differences. It's what Widnes need. They need players staying, but it wasn't to be. The referee on the job, he looked to the touch judge for a little bit of guidance. He ruled that the ball had been knocked forward. The try was ruled out. Saints with a quick play of the ball, and then the half-time hooter went. So half-time score, Saints 14, Widnes 0. 3 tries from Pickavant, Roach and Hunt. The latter goal by Martin, 14-0, and all ready for the second half. Back with you now for the second half action. Saints in the lead by 14 points to 0. Scott Gibbs on the park to make his debut in a Saints jersey, partnering Alan Hunt. As Alan Hunt takes the ball, he goes crossfield. Good run by Hunt, sees the gap, and Hunter, turning green inside out. But brought down on the halfway line, and Hume moves in to complete the tackle. Super run by Alan Hunter from the kick-off. Jason Roach now taking up the running. Both these wingmen on the score sheet, and obviously looking for more points. John Neal from Shane Cooper. Neal turning in the tackle. Solid tackling. McCurry in along with Smith. Saints again moving crossfield. So big things expected from Scott Gibbs. Welsh Rugby Union signing. Beavers now onto Gibbs, his first touch. Right in at the action. Ex-Swansea, Wales and British Lion player. Now with Beavers for the tester. And it's a tester for Spruce. Oh, but Widnes, they covered up well for him there, didn't they, Gary?
Yes, that was good play by Widnes. And, well, Stuart Spruce there. Well, Saints nearly got away with that kick through off Cooper, but Stuart Spruce, he could have been on the training pitch there. The confidence with which he took that catch, and again, Jason Green beats the first tackle. Well, Scrappy played the ball again from Green, and I think that's something he perhaps needs to sort out. And Peter Smith coming in to do some good hard work, as the Widnes wingers usually do. But that was almost a disastrous start for Widnes. Alan Hunt just sliced through them like a hot knife through butter. Finally, the ball spun round. And in fact, it was Harris there in that move, not Thornley. Now Carl Hammond kicks. And again, Widnes employ the tactic of attempting to keep St Helens down, but it's got to be a good chase. And the Widnes line wasn't a straight one, but that's a super tackle by Craig Macon.
Yes, good defence there by Widnes. Saints come up with possession. Chris Joint and Scott Gibbs coming up there, looking for a more piece of the action. Andy Dannett up the centre, brought down on the halfway line. Tommy Hodgkinson, the acting halfback, he moves it to his right. Well, he doesn't. He dummies to move it to the right and takes the tackle. Just a little bit of friendly rivalry there, but the partisan Saints faithful below us here, just airing the views. And it's good to be back here at Nosey Road, and especially on the popular side, because there's nothing like this popular side choir to lift the team. The ball knocked forward there. I think it was Chris Morley lost it. Looking to the referee for a little bit of guidance, as if he'd been reaped out, but the scrum, head and ball and feed going Widnes side.
Carl Hammond gets a good ball out, Spruce into the line well. Now Smith comes inside, knocks off Beavers. Tackled well in the end by Hunt, and Scott Gibbs is determined to make an impression on this game for St Helens. Lee Hansen. Well, that was a good run there by Paul Myler, the other number 15 for Widnes. He just couldn't get the ball out. Hume looks for support, and there's McCuddy, and he looks for support. Good to see Steve McCuddy there, and he taps the ball to himself. Makes some more headway. He can't get the ball out, but Steve McCuddy certainly looking keen, and Widnes rightly awarded the penalty. McCuddy copping for the punch there, and he takes a quick tap. Widnes look to spin the ball out. Hammond just... Well, it may not have been Hammond, I just can't see from here. It was Thornley actually who lost possession there, powering for the line, but just coming a bit too hard.
Yes, Widnes, obviously they had to move it quick, Gary. That was the order of the day, just as Saints did earlier on in the game. But it didn't pay off for him, as you say. He took it, it bounced off his chest, or he didn't take it, I should say, and it bounced off his chest. And the Saints retained possession, or regained possession. Well, the ball going through John Neal's legs there, it went back. Well, Gary said he knocked it forward first, but it looks as though it had gone back to me. And you know, I'm right down the middle, Gary.
Well, totally unbiased comments there, as ever, from Ronnie, but I agree with the referee there. I'm sure that we caught that one if our cameraman managed to be on the action there and catch that one close up. I'm sure that you'll see that the St Helens player's hand movement was forward, and that went onto the ball, and then the ball just dribbled back between his legs. Widnes waiting to make a substitution. Thornley took a knock earlier on, went down holding his leg. But Widnes in possession now. Hansen, he gets the ball out, and Peter Smith goes in at the corner. A great try for Widnes. Well, I was just looking to see if the Widnes substitution was taking place there, but that was a superb play by Widnes. And Lee Hansen, I said in the first half that the Chemics were looking to use him in the centre. That's where he's going to be a great danger, because if you're playing centre and you've got a big powerful man like that coming forward, you're going to think twice before you tackle him. And he powered through the gap. Peter Smith was in good support, and Smith dives over in the corner to put Widnes back in the game. 46 minutes gone in this game, and Widnes now behind 14 points to 4.
Saints 14, Widnes 4.
I think one problem that we are seeing with Widnes this afternoon is who's going to do the kicking. I mean, in play kicking, David Hume is perhaps almost as good as the next man. But from the place kicks, the conversions, penalties and so on, Widnes are going to be struggling there. Carl Hammond having a go at that one. John Devereux not in the lineup today. He's kicked for Widnes before and got a sharp boot. But it's good that the Chemics get some points on the board. They've worked very hard, and if you keep doing that and you don't get anywhere, then it's easy to become disheartened, especially when you're getting tired, as these players will surely get tired in the first game back. Hammond again given the task of kicking. It's not, again though, really a testing kick, and Loughlin picks it up and makes ground, passing the 20-metre line for Saints.
Yes, Loughlin moving up to full back to accommodate Scott Gibbs at the centre. Phil Weaver's moved up to the standoff berth. Loose pass there, tidied up by Phil Weavers. Loughlin coming, well, Loughlin, as I said, at the full back. And now Simon Booth. Ian Pickavance, good running. Hodgkinson at dummy half. Hampered a little bit, but it's now on to Scott Gibbs. Puts a tester up. And Gibbs will have to follow it up to play. Well, it bounced and went into touch. So it's a scrum down with a Widnes feed. But obviously that wasn't the idea, I don't think. But Saints at least have 50-50 chance of possession, Gary.
Well, Scott Gibbs there just doing what they would call a Gary Owen, a bit of an up and under. And Peter Smith a bit too far away, didn't fancy taking the chance. Stuart Spruce was too far away, and in the end it just bounces into touch. It's no great loss for Widnes. They end up taking the tackle around about the same position where the ball bounced anyway. But still looking to come away from the line. Some of this Widnes play this afternoon has been very encouraging. Said earlier, perhaps at times a little bit disorganised, and spectators can be a little bit impatient and perhaps expecting to see Widnes playing like Wigan or St Helens, an established side, in the first game of the season. But it's going to take time for these players to get used to each other, get used to the little signs that players give to each other on the pitch as to where to go and what to do. But let's hope it comes in time. And the Carl Hammond again puts a fairly innocuous kick in, but this time Hunt lets it go into touch.
It's with head and ball. Cooper at the scrum half position. Tommy Martin off at half time for the introduction of Scott Gibbs. Paul Loughlin at the full back position. Phil Weavers at standoff and at dummy half there. Cooper again on to Gibbs, but he puts it down. Obviously this lad wants to get heavily involved. He wants to show what he can do. Maybe too keen. He'll get a few bumps and jeers and groans and what have you, but he'll settle down, don't worry about it. Widnes with the head and ball at the scrum.
Yes, I must agree with you there, Donny. I think Scott Gibbs is certainly a good prospect for the Rugby League, and gets a few friendly jeers there after Widnes Speckers, but they know as much as anybody what a good rugby union player can do in Rugby League, having seen Jonathan Davis and Moriarty and John Devereux and Adrian Hadley, to name but a few, at Widnes. So the Chemics coming forward and the fans get behind them. Thornley, a long ball out. Well, a good vision by Thornley. Alan Hunt flew in to take Carl Hammond, expecting him to get the ball, but just a long face pass out to Peter Smith. It was just a little bit too low for Smith. I'm sure that had been in the breadbasket. Smith would have caught it and gone over for his second.
Yeah, quick hands there, Gary, and the gap was there, wasn't it? Widnes with the ball, let the ball do the work. And unfortunately, as you say, it just went into touch. 14-4 the score. Saints held up in their own half. Gibbs with possession, bouncing off the tacklers. Lee Hansen comes in, and the young David Hume, the evergreen David Hume, goes in with a good tackle. Joint now powering his way to the halfway line. As we say about Gibbs, we know the spectators, Gary, will get behind them. as soon as Bobby Golding makes his debut for the Saints, they'll get behind Golding, and it's only a matter of a few weeks since they wasn't half giving him some clog when he had a Widnes jersey on.
Well, that's rugby league for you, isn't it? I think David Hume there was just welcoming Scott Gibbs into the game in his own friendly way as well.
Last tackle of the sequence. Loughlin in possession. Play the loose forward there. Harris taking a knock. The referee calls quickly. Obviously, it must be quite serious. And is it Lynn Gaskell on? No, Gary?
Well, Lynn Gaskell's left the club this year. David Hume was signalled to the bench straight away there when Harris went down, and it could just be a bang on the knee, but Mr. Conley also was immediately on the scene signalling for the physio, and Mr. Conley just having a word with David Hume there. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that conversation, but this doesn't look good for the Widnes loose forward. Paul Harris got a few chances last season and took them well, and he's certainly performed with credit this afternoon. Well, it's good at least that the stretcher's not been on there. And that's if there is a stretcher, but unfortunately Paul Harris being shouldered off to great applause and well-deserved applause. Nobody likes to see a player being carried off in spite of the banter that we all give each other. Well, that ball bounced off a Widnes player, and the Widnes can't afford to let it go into touch. Stuart Spruce knocks it. He's claiming he knocked it backwards. Well, I think that was a 50-50 one. I think I must agree, if I'd been the referee, I would have given a knock on there. I might be being a little bit too unbiased here, but it was a dodgy one for Widnes, and they made a bit of a mess of it.
That was as backwards as the one off John Neal before. But Saints have possession from the scrum. Gibbs, good ball to Loughlin, couldn't take it cleanly. The ball's knocked down. The referee has blown up, even though Green gathers it. Jason Roach is telling him there's the try line up there, but you're not going to go anywhere, son. But it's a scrum down, and it should be Widnes head and ball, I think, this time, Gary. I thought Spruce had knocked it back there, to be quite honest, but the referee, he thought different. But Widnes have a second bite of the cherry.
The difficult, sometimes you can knock a rugby ball backwards and it ends up going forwards, and if it moves towards the opposition line, then obviously it's a knock on. Well, that's why they made that shape. They're not like these round balls that the other people play with. But anyway, Stuart Spruce, if it was a knock on, certainly made amends for it there, because he spotted where that pass was going to, and he flew in, and it was him flying in that put the St Helens player under pressure and caused him to spill the ball and give possession back to Widnes. Now David Hume, and again Hume finds a gap. Well, how does he do it? David Hume gets the ball out. Good support this time. A great chase by St Helens. You know, I mean, David Hume, he doesn't look much faster than Jim the Corpy Smith, but when he gets those legs going, he certainly opens up the gaps. And I'm sure that the fellas in St Bede's will have been cheering him on there. I said I'd give them a mention as well this afternoon. Widnes now going for the line. Hammond gets the ball out. Good support. Smith throws the ball back a bit wildly on this occasion. And I think that's Paul Myler who dives on it. McCurry dummies, goes to the line. Well, cheeky play by McCurry. Now Smith. Well, I thought he was going to drop a goal for the minute. Hume charges forward and completes a super tackle on Simon Booth. But good stuff by Widnes.
It is good stuff by Widnes, and it's more or less been all Widnes this second half, Gary. They got a try in the 6th minute by Peter Smith in this left-hand corner, and they've certainly contained the Saints quite well. No doubt Tony Myler would have had harsh words with him at the half-time interval, but Saints are still throwing it about. Obviously, defence is going to be paramount, and with Widnes conceding 3 tries in 8 minutes at the back end of the first half, obviously that's why they've tightened up. Joint there to Paul Loughlin, sees a gap. Loughlin stretches those long legs. He's just completed a testimonial season. He's only about 27, is Loughlin, same as Bernard Dwyer. Oh, lovely ball there, Cooper. Beaver's involved there along with Tommy Hodgkinson. Long ball out. Oh, as he took it. He did well to hold it there. But still moving the ball. Saints keep it going. Hodgkinson. Oh, reading the Widnes side, a merry dance. And brought down inches short of the whitewash. Last tackle of the sequence. Saints will bring it right across. Widnes moving up quickly. Dannett, he keeps it going. Saints have got to spread it. Cooper tries to gel it offside. That's offside. He come off the Widnes man. Cooper tried to chip it through. The indication is there. Gary was just going to say he didn't agree with me, I think. But it is an offside decision, accidental as it may have been. But a scrum down has been given. He's obviously read it as accidental, Gary, do you think?
Well, I can't see that decision because the kick through, unless he's saying it was a knock-on, but it can't have been a knock-on if it was off a kick because that would be a charge down. So it was either offside or I don't know what, but it's St Helens attacking anyway, and again a touch of luck perhaps, because I'm sure that Paul Ewan would have gone the full length there.
Yes, maybe he would, but Saints have the possession and they're in the lead by 14-4. Vivers misses Gibbs out and drives his centres. Vivers, support there from Cooper. Oh, right under the sticks. Just a little fortunate, you can say, with the kick before and the decision. Even though I thought it was an offside decision and we should have had a penalty. But the referee gave a scrum and Saints did the stuff, stuck to the task. And 18 minutes gone in the second half. Captain Cooper goes over for his first try this afternoon. Makes it 18 points to 4. And Paul Loughlin should pop this one over now. Paul Loughlin, one of Saints' regular kickers, even though he had a little bit of an off-season last season with the boot. He still finished as top scorer, but he popped it over there. As we said, Gary, we didn't know what the decision was, but the scrum was awarded to the Saints, and they hit back in good style, good passing. Vivers missing out, well, giving the dummy, took it himself, drove up to the stick, slipped it to Cooper, and a try under the sticks. So it's Widnes to kick off. Still trailing by 20 points to 4. Vivers on to Gibbs, and he comes in enthusiastically. Not the biggest of players, is he, Gary? But I'm sure he's got the strength.
Yes, he looks like a strong player, and he seems to have the technique of bumping people off. He's done it a couple of times. He couldn't do it to Lee Hansen there, obviously, but he has done it a couple of times in this game. Just dipped his shoulder and bumped them off.
But there's Chris Joint powering his way through. Support from Roach. Roach takes it well. Super ball. Alan Hunt calling for the ball to come right across. But Morley driving for the line. Yes, it's over. Super try by Chris Morley. Two tries in 2 minutes. That try coming from Chris Joint. Took the ball well in his own half. Glided through the Widnes defence. Support from Roach. Roach was tackled, played it again. Morley took it. Looked at the line, went for the line, and leaving a trail of Widnes players in his wake, and he took a couple over the line with him. He just managed to get it over the whitewash. Andy Dannett coming off, Andy Haig going on. And Loughlin now strides up, strikes it well, it looks good. Yes, he pops it between the uprights. 26 points to 4. And Widnes under the cosh now. 2 tries in 2 minutes. Simon Booth earning a well-earned rest. The lad that came from Lee. He's a big lad. He has played in the second row at Lee, but it's more or less used on the wing and in the centre. And he'll take some shifting, won't he? Andy Haig right in at the action. Signed from Crossfields, Warrington, at the back end of the season before last. Fogarty back on. He's had a break, so all these players being used. John Neal powers through. Cooper fed him the ball, but the ball's loose. Jason Roach on the far side knocked it forward. Scrum down with the Widnes feed. 22 minutes gone of this second half, and Saints in the lead by 26 points to 4. Widnes looking to introduce another couple of players, make another more couple more substitutes. Obviously it is unlimited substitutions this afternoon, Gary, but the ball kicked through there. Gibbs hacks it through. Can he win the chase? Well, he picks it up well. The touch judge goes to the back of the sticks, and Gibbs is there with his first touchdown for the Saints after 22 minutes. And the crowd like that one, don't they? Super try by Gibbs. Read it well, came in. Widnes had the possession, it was hacked forward. Gibbs saw the opportunity, followed it up, picked it up well, and touchdown.
Yes, just bad passing or perhaps misunderstanding as much as anything else. Again, the players just attempting a sort of scissor move, and it didn't come off. The ball went loose, and credit to Scott Gibbs. He did what any rugby league player would do. He hacked it forward, a good pick up, and he went over the line. And Loughlin adds the conversion. So Widnes now with a very unflattering scoreline, and perhaps I think one, Ronnie, which doesn't really reflect the balance of the game. I think Saints deservedly on top, but perhaps the margin is a little bit unflattering, or flattering towards St Helens, should I say.
Well, I wouldn't agree with you there, Gary. Needless to say, you wouldn't expect me to, would you? But I mean, Widnes came out, it was all Widnes in the first 6 or so, well, 6 minutes they scored a try. And say in the first 10 minutes, but then Saints got the try, and in the space of 4 minutes it scored 3 tries. So you can't beat that. Obviously taking Widnes apart. So let's look for more points. The ball knocked forward. The referee says he looked for his touch judge for guidance there, and a scrum down with a Widnes feed.
I think he's had that much guidance off his touch judge. He'll be buying a dog for next season. But Widnes lose the feed against the head, and that you certainly can't afford to do against the rampant St Helens side as they once again come forward.
Fancy you saying things like that about Mr Connolly, the referee of the year. But as you know, Greg McCallum from Australia has been appointed to sort these referees out, haven't they, Gary? And he's going to be here on a 2-year appointment. So whether it will make a difference in the English game, only time will tell. I mean, they got shut of Fred Lindop, and now they've brought this Aussie in, referee McCallum, the second best whistler in the Aussie game. But Saints in possession and in the lead by 32 points to 4. 15 minutes left of the game. 65 minutes gone, and Cooper lofts a high one. Cooper puts everybody onside. Hadley, I think that is, that takes it. And Cooper follows it up and completes the tackle.
Yes, well taken by Hadley, and he made good ground as well. And Peter Smith, another winger, also making good headway. Widnes now have used all the substitutes. Lee Ashton, Aidan Halliwell, both on, and Hadley there. And Hanson drops the ball. It went backwards. The touch judge, again, Mr Connolly looking to the touch judge. The touch judge put his hands behind his back to signify that nothing untoward happened there. So Widnes coming forward, a chance perhaps to salvage some pride. Carl Hammond just can't get the ball out. McCurry surges forward. I think he's put in a very creditable performance, considering that he's been the centre of some speculation, and I think this afternoon he's shown what his intentions are. Not the best of balls, but Widnes do well. Thornley did well to get it back to Carl Hammond there, and that was the final tackle. Widnes not using the kick. I don't think Carl Hammond was aware of that, and the mouths off to the referee, so Widnes will lose further ground.
Yes, well, he was saying that the Saints player had him held down. I think it was Andy Haig wanted the ball. Obviously it was the turnover. Hammond didn't agree. He just had a word with the referee and was marched another 10 metres back, and rightly so. So good yardage by the Saints, 10 metres inside the Widnes half. Good driving there by Fogarty. Rolls over. The players had got off him, and he was looking to go again. Takes the ball up to 20 metres from the Widnes line. John Neal, this other powerhouse forward. Hodgkinson, Vivers working on the move there. Oh, lovely ball onto Andy Haig. Class play by Vivers. Operating in the stand-off berth with the reshuffle. 27 minutes gone, and Andy Haig, super play there by Vivers, typical of this evergreen player. Hammond restarts, Vivers takes it well, slips it inside to Alan Hunt, and Hunt will be looking for another good run again. Solid display by the Saints. It was 28 minutes before we had a score. Saints opened the scoring in the first half, and then in the space of 8 minutes they had 3 tries on the board, and 14-0 was the half-time score. All Widnes in the opening 10-15 minutes, we could say, and then Saints hit the gas pedal again after Widnes had scored in the 6th minute. And in the space of 4 minutes, Saints coming up with 3 tries, but Morley support inside from Hodgkinson. Excellent tackle there by Hansen. Hodgkinson, short ball to Cooper, long ball now from Cooper. It's going to be loose. Can it be tidied up? Roach tidied it up, takes the tackle. Hume was moving in quickly there, but now it's with the tireless runner Hodgkinson. Good tackling by Widnes. They force him back 5 metres. Ruane looking to be introduced again to the game. Went off earlier for stitches, we think. A tester there by Vivers. Puts a high one up. The ball still loose. Gibbs is there. The ball is still loose and Hadley has it. Widnes in possession.
Hadley did well to recover there, playing in the full-back position at the moment. I didn't notice when Stuart Spruce went off. But Peter Smith's now going off and David Owain is coming back on. It'll be interesting to see if his presence makes any difference on the pitch as we come into the final 10 minutes. Widnes looking to run the ball out from their own line. Out to Jason Green, he attempts to go around Jason Roach, and he does. Created a small gap for himself on the outside, but it wasn't big enough. The cover was coming across. So Widnes again finding it difficult to get out of this half. It's the final tackle. Hammond dummies the kick. Hume, Hansen, now can he get the ball out? Hume was being held there, and Carl Hammond rightly looked at the touch judge there, because Paul Hume was held off the ball as the ball was thrown over Hansen's head. Hume was being held by a St Helens player, but it's St Helens in possession, and Loughlin powers forward, showing great power there. Paul Loughlin. Tommy Hodgkinson going for the line himself. He's got support. He can't get the ball out. He flicks it over. Forward pass though. And it nearly came off there for Hodgkinson. But I think it was Andy Haig there standing in an offside position, and a deliberate offside given by Mr Connolly. So Widnes, another chance to make some ground. It's been a difficult game for them. I think on the plus side for the Chemics have been the performances of, well, Lee Hansen certainly has been outstanding. He's shown himself to be a hard worker. He's tackled well. I'd like to see the tackle count. He must be up there somewhere near the top. And he's also done well, especially in the centre positions, made some good breaks. That young man there, Steve McCurry, has had an excellent hard-working game. He may not be at full fitness just yet, but he's shown his intentions, and his intentions lie completely with Widnes. If his commitment down there is anything to go by. Also, Jason Green has looked very impressive on the few chances that he has had. Halliwell, he's got support. Hammond, well, Hammond goes back inside. He goes back outside. He can't get the ball. Well, Adrian Hadley there screaming for the ball, as was Lee Hansen. I think Carl Hammond could have possibly gone under the sticks if he'd carried on going there. A good ball out, and Smith is tackled short of the line. Well, it's just not coming right there for Widnes. David Smith's performance also has been a plus. He turned in a super season last year at Prop, but he looks every inch a second row this afternoon. Really worked hard. Good ball handling. So perhaps, although things haven't gone Widnes' way this afternoon, there are some good signs, some things that Tony Mile can build on. St Helens, well, they've looked every inch the class side that they are. They've thrown the ball about with abandon. They've looked classy, they've looked confident, and Hunt there skips away from the first tackle. Superb cover tackle there by Hadley. Vivers, little chip through, well, it bounces over the head of David Owain, takes him completely by surprise, and Vivers just happy to get Widnes back down in that 20-metre line. David Smith comes off for Widnes, and Green somehow manages to get the ball out in the tackle. McCurry scampers away from half-back, and the Islanders come back on just to do some more work in the final 6 minutes, gets the ball out. Halliwell picks it up, David Owain into the line, looking for the gap. Weaves, gets the ball back to McCurry. Paul Hume, good ball out from Hume, a nice chip over the top. Hammond, was he impeded? Well, he half went down and carried on, and Mr. Connolly says he wasn't impeded, and that's a great tackle by Andy Ireland. Well, where did he come from?
Yeah, superb tackle by Ireland on Haig. Certainly scattered him there. Scott Gibbs feeling the full force of the Hansen tackle, and solid tackling by Widnes, even though they're trailing 36 points to 4. John Neal gets the ball away to Fogarty. Didn't know he was going to get it, but he came up with it, and Alan Hunt lofts a long ball out. Jason Roach takes it, stretches those legs, gives the dummy. Alan Hunt was there, and Alan Hunt should have had that ball, I think. But Jason Roach thought that the Widnes player would take the dummy. Hunt ducks down. Joint, yes, that was a forward pass there. A blatant forward pass. Gary, one of the rare ones he has seen this afternoon.
I think for once, me, you and Mr. Connolly are all in agreement with each other on that one. It was definitely a forward pass. A great break by Jason Roach, but I think, well, Widnes have lost the ball against the head once again, and that shouldn't be happening really, and it's going to give St Helens a chance. And Scott Gibbs, well, I think Scott Gibbs will get the headlines in the popular press for his second try of the match, but once again it comes from a basic mistake by Widnes. I don't know if it was the feed or if it was the prop forward or the hooker, but you should not lose the scrum against the head in this day and age.
Well, you shouldn't really, Gary, but that's two they've lost, isn't it? Two against the head, and Saints moving quickly out. Gibbs involved a couple of times in that movement, and it brings the 40 up for the Saints. And as Gary said, Gibbs will be getting the headlines. It took Saints half an hour more or less before they got into action, and then they was a little bit slow in the second half for getting into the action, but Paul Loughlin should lob this one over, make it 42 points, I beg your pardon. Just preempting the situation there of more points to come. But Paul Loughlin, 10 metres out, right in front of the sticks. I reckon I could pop that one over, Gary, but just about mile distance there. But 42-4 is the score. Saints looking hungry, and coach Eric Hughes will be pleased with the performance this afternoon. Took him a bit, as I said, a bit of time to get into full flight, but once they did, it shows the things to come. Gibbs now from the kick-off drives hard and strong, and as Andy said before, he certainly has that knack of brushing the players off. Dips the shoulder and drives into them. 6 more tackles as the Widnes player touched the ball. John Neal has to go down from the heavy tackling there. Tommy Hodgkinson moves it left. Joint. It'll give obviously the Saints players a lot of heart. Chris Joint signing a 2-year extension to his 12-month contract, which he still had left at St Helens. He says that Saints are going to be the team of the future. Let's hope they are. horrific injuries last season, so was off after what was supposed to be a good season from the season before. But with the old pie eaters, there's only one way for the pie eaters, and that's down, isn't it? They've been at the top for too long. As Cooper glides through inside to Loughlin. Oh, Vivas takes it comfortably, and another try on the board in the 39th minute. Super Cooper, the Saints captain, glides through this Widnes defence. Paul Loughlin instrumental there again, and then an over-the-top pass to Phil Vivas.
Yes, it's not been a good day for Widnes. It started out showing good signs, and there have been spells when Widnes have looked very promising, but when you're playing against the rampant St Helens side and you're going backwards for much of the game, then your fitness, especially in the first game of the season, your fitness is going to gradually wear down, and Widnes just haven't been able to answer this St Helens attack. They haven't been able to break down the defence on enough occasions, and there is the full-time hooter, and Carl Hammond walks disconsolately back to the dressing rooms. I think he's a bit fed up. The other Widnes players sportingly shake hands with the St Helens side, but a disappointing day for Widnes. Coach Tony Myler now has got a lot of work to do before the first game against Castleford next week. But Ronnie, as a St Helens fan, you must be very happy with today's performance.
Yes, I'm usually happy with the Saints' performance, even though we have had indifferent results last season. But every team goes through a bad patch, and that, I know it's only a starter for the season, but extremely pleased with the likes of Gibbs, Young Roach, Waring, all the lads here. They've got to get in the swing, and a clinical performance here. 14-0 at half-time, and then it was 18 minutes before Saints got on the board in the second half. With quick tries from Cooper, Morley, 2 from Gibbs, Andy Haig and Phil Vivas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals from Loughlin. The final score 48 points to 4. A tough tie for the Saints on paper indeed next week against promotion team Doncaster. But let's hope that Saints can certainly get off to a flying start. Final score here at Knowsley Road: Saints 48, Widnes 4.